Attention all tragedy fans. Do you like Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah, I guess so.
Good! Now that we know you're a dedicated fan who would buy anything we throw at them, listen.
Do I know you from somewhere?
Fantastic! Well, I'm sure you'd love to hear about our new Romeo and Juliet soundtrack.
Are you even listening?
Though, because it's only songs by David Bowie, and now that's what I call Tragedy 1556. It's got all the classics you love, but set to the events of a 3-day romance between a 13-year-old and a grown man. For example, it's got Space Oddity, except that instead of a space mission that suffers horrible accidents, it represents the hopelessness a young man feels after he's cast out of his home after killing another man for revenge. And in the exposition, we learned two families being at each other's throats for years for no reason, so we selected Under Pressure. We also chose You Feel So Lonely You Could Die. Back to the scene in which we are introduced to a heartbroken, depressed, angsty young youth who suffers from unrequited love, named Romeo. We placed Let's Dance within a party that is crashed by that same angsty youth, who then immediately falls in love with one of the first girls he sees, whose name happens to be Julia. Later that night, the angsty youth sneaks over to the balcony of the girl they just met, and they confess their feelings for each other and plan their wedding for the next night. We also added Thursday's Child for this scene, because it displays how the angsty youth is ready to move on and put his past behind him. So when the angsty youth and the 13-year-old he met at the party the night before get married, we chose heroes to accompany him, due to the repetition of "just for one day" that reflects how brief the lovers' relationship is. Teenage Wildlife serves as the unspoken dying words of the man who the angsty youth killed impulsively, as said angsty youth will be hunted like an animal if he ever returns to his home. And remember that whole exile thing? Well, before he leaves, a friar, filled with emotion, manages to talk, or scold, the angsty youth down from suicide, accompanied by rock and roll suicide. Not only the aforementioned angst lord Romeo is affected, as Julia receives word from her nurse of this exile, and her entire world seems to crash down upon her, due to her betrothal to a man she despises named Paris. We decided to score this with the aptly named As the World Falls Down. We chose this song because Romeo seems to have sold his entire world. He had everything that he had ever wanted, but then just threw it all away and gave it up by killing Tybalt. Now, all of that and more is included in Now That's What I Call Tragedy 1556, along with 9-minute tracks of me crying myself to sleep.
The CD has a completely different name. Are you the guy who mailed 12 boxes of anthrax to my house?
Make sure to order today!